I think what we're striving for this week is, players got to really continue to focus on creating the right habits, in practice, because, guys that don't do that, these things start to creep up and show in the game, and some of the choices and decisions that you make, and that's something that you have to correct in practice. So you have to have the right mindset, to be able to do that. And, your capability is not necessarily about what you accomplished, but it's really about what you should have accomplished. And that's every day. That's long-term goals. Because sometimes when you look back, you always say, I should have, I could have, why didn't I? Well, but we all have the choice and the decision to do that the right way when we get the opportunity. And that's really what we want to emphasize with our players. Same thing with knowledge. Everybody that has knowledge has a better chance to be successful. And, we have a lot of players, young players playing on our team this year. And, for them to improve their knowledge is going to help them improve their confidence. And in doing that, I think they'll be able to go play faster in the game and be more comfortable and confident when the game comes. And obviously, we want to have everybody be a team. And if you're a really good team, nobody has, any personal agenda. So, we're looking forward to finishing the week with great preparation for Arkansas. They've got some really good players on offense, and they're playing better on defense. And we have a lot of respect for what they were able to do against us last year. And we know we need to improve, on that tremendously. Homecoming is a great tradition for a lot of people around here who have great memories and pride in, the University of Alabama and their experiences here. So we certainly would like to make as many of them happy as we possibly can. It's also going to be something that I'm looking forward to our 2009 National Championship team, coming back, and a lot of the players, some of them are still playing, but a lot of the guys that will be here, the captains will be here, and that was our first national championship team, and probably a really special team to me, the only one that went undefeated. And also, the guys on that team, they came here when we weren't any good. They came in here when we were 6-6, and lots of issues, lots of problems. But they chose to come and build something, and they did something that was really unique and really special. And when you talk about team, haven't been on championship teams that have a lot of personal agendas, but the story that I remember most about that team is, in the old team room that we used to have. In those days, the players could make money if you could go from destination to destination. From your home to the bowl site and back to your home, because you'd get so much for a ticket, and then you could get a ticket for less, and you could make so much money. And it was pretty much like $700 or $800, so it wasn't like $50. And we had guys from all these small towns in Georgia and Alabama and Florida and all over the place, and we were having a tremendous tough time logistically trying to get everybody that they would be able to get to the game on time, because we had guys flying through Minneapolis, Minnesota to get to L.A. and all this stuff. So I didn't want to tell the team, but I wanted to take a charter, because I thought that would be the best way for us to get out there, get there together, be able to settle in, be able to practice, prepare for the game, do what we had to do to win the game. But I said, there's no way that I'm going to tell these guys that we're going to take a charter. I'm going to let them vote, because they're going to give up something if I tell them they have to take a charter. So it's got to be their choice. So we had a vote, and they voted 125-0 to take a charter. So I always remember that. And, Rolando McClain said, well, Coach, we won't remember what we did with that $700 3 months from now, but we'll remember what happens in this game for the rest of our life. So now 10 years later, they're all being honored for what they were able to accomplish. So it's, pretty special, to me.
Coach, we'll start back with Brett.
Where have you seen Evan Neal grow and progress over the last 2 or 3 weeks?
Well, I don't think I've seen anything over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's been a steady progression all the way from, camp through each game. I think he's gotten better and better. I think we talked about knowledge, but I think his knowledge and experience as it improves, his confidence level grows. And I think he plays faster, makes less mental errors, and probably executes more efficiently. And hopefully he can continue to do that, throughout the rest of the year.
Come back over to the right with Charlie.
How much have you placed an emphasis on avoiding pass interference penalties with your DBs this week?
What we try to do is get our guys to play the ball. There's a lot of speculation in the NFL, college football. How do you call pass interference? What is pass interference? Everybody calls it a little bit different. I know I read somewhere that in the NFL that's the most, challenged call now or something, because it's probably the greatest judgment call in football. All right, so we want to see the players do what we coach them to do. If they keep them cut off, they get in good position, they become the receiver and play the ball, I think they'll have less penalties. And, but all the penalties that we got, we had really close, good coverage. We just need to play the ball better.
Let's come back over in the middle with Michael. Yeah, I was going to ask about the same thing, but what about Trayvon Diggs this year? Where have you seen him improve? And I think he had one of the PIs the other night, but I think it was the first of his season.
Yeah, well, if you keep the guy cut off, all right, then you don't have to be hand fighting a guy down the field. But he's played well for us. We continue to focus on him playing with good eye control and discipline. And when he does that, he's a really, really effective player. And he's done it more often this year than ever before, and I think that's created a lot of value for him. And hopefully we can continue to get him to do it, and he'll be even better, the rest of the way.
Back left with Cecil.
Coach, I realize it's been 3 practices is all it's been, but how has Mac handled the transition? How do you handle the transition in terms of how you talk to Mac or anything that you say to Mac going into this game?
Well, Mac's got to be the leader of the team. He's got to take over the team. When you're the backup player, you're a little bit like the sparring partner, but can't be that anymore. You're the lead fighter. You're the top dog. You got to do things with confidence. You got to take command, and you got to play with confidence. And you can't have bad body language in front of the rest of your teammates, regardless of what happens. You got to be able to play the next play. And he's responded really well, and I think practiced pretty well the last couple of days.
A couple more. We'll start here with Kirk.
This is a little bit like Cecil's, but there's nothing good, obviously, about losing a guy like Tua. But I wonder, in your experience, either in practice this week or in other times in your career, that you've seen lose a star player and the backup steps up greatly and the rest of the team steps up.
Yeah, well, I think last year in the SEC championship game, Tua got hurt. Jalen Hurts came in and won the game. So that's the one I remember most recently. I can't even think of how many opportunities you lose really, really good players, whether it's Dylan Moses this year, LeBron Ray, Josh McMillan, Trey Sanders would have made a tremendous contribution to the team. And it created an opportunity for other players who, worked hard and were able to probably take advantage of it. Not to be them, but just be the best version of themselves that they could be so that it could contribute in a positive way to the team. So I don't even have to look past, this season to, see a lot of those types of things, occurring. But quarterback, I don't remember a specific, experience. Oh, I guess when I was at LSU, Rohan Davey got hurt, and we were playing Tennessee in the SEC championship game. And I think we were behind 17-7 when he got hurt. And Matt Mock came in, and he was a freshman, never played before, and we ended up winning the game 31-20. And Tennessee was, I think, 1 or 2 in the country. So it happens, But I think what's more important is all the players around the guy play well. We dropped 2 passes last week in critical situations in the game that would have made a big difference in how Mac performed, and guys were wide open and just dropped the ball. So are we blaming Mac for that?
Will there be an effort to get Talia into the game just to expedite his progression?
We're focused on winning the game. All right, so we're going to try to win the game, and we're going to play the best players that we can play to win the game. And we're not assuming that it's going to be an easy game, and we're not assuming that we'll have opportunity just to play anybody that wants to play, to expedite anything except winning the game. So we're going to play everybody who can expedite winning the game. That's what we're going to do. So I don't think anybody should expect us to do anything else.